We're on your side with two crews live with what the winter weather left behind. Jason Marks is on the peninsula and talked to folks trying not to slide on the ice out there.
And our Lauren Compton's in Virginia Beach. We're going to start off with you, Lauren. How are people dealing with the icy roads?
Well, Tom, folks in Virginia Beach are practicing a lot of patience. Residents and drivers we talked to say they understand that the public works crews have to get to the primary roads first, and that means that they will not get to the residential roads. Now, here's a look at Virginia Beach Boulevard. This is a primary road in the Virginia Beach area. Even that road is still seeing some slush, and public work officials tell me that's because there's so much ice on the roadways right now. They're going to need to apply that salt and sand abrasive several times. Sidewalks, as you can see, they are also very slippery. We traveled to some neighborhoods off South Independence, and that's where we saw a lot of snow and ice, especially in those residential areas, as Don Slater mentioned. And we talked to some folks about how they're managing with all of these slippery conditions.
The ice is there, so you walk on the ice, you start to slip, and you can't even see if it's, black ice.
Well, I came out of the house probably around noon, and I thought they were okay. They were travelable.
Now, when you head out tomorrow morning, that's going to be a much different situation. A lot of this slush and ice is expected to freeze overnight. And in Virginia Beach, city crews do not come out and do residential roads because they do not have the resources or the equipment to do it safely. So be sure to take it easy tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Virginia Beach, Lauren Compton, 10 on your side.
And now to the other side of the water, the peninsula, specifically Hampton.
Jason Marks spent much of the evening there. And Jason, you've been driving for much of the night, so how are the roads?
Well, the roads look pretty good, especially the main roads. Mercury Boulevard looks amazing, and really no ice to speak of on it, but it's really the residential roads. I know we are hammering this point, but we want to show you what things look like. I mean, just take a look. This is what some of the residential roads look like here in Hampton. This is Cherry Acres here. And you can see just this ice, and this was at one point this was water, and then it switched over as soon as it got dark and the sun stopped shining on it, and you can see how frozen it is now and how slippery it can be. And this is what crews are going to be dealing with on some of the major roads. We do have some areas where you will see some ice on some of the main roads still. Much of them are clear, but there are some areas like this. And this is what's going to cause the problems as we move into the overnight hours.
The goal is to stay on the road. Stay on the road.
And after the weather we had yesterday, that's not easy to do. Crews have been working around the clock, and here's the result. Clear roads in most places.
They're good. I mean, I work in Chesapeake. I had no problems.
As the sun set, the threat of black ice rose once again.
Once it gets cold again, what is wet there will freeze up again.
Larry Perry worked all day in Hampton to clear as much ice and snow off the roads as possible. He got behind his plow at 6 a.m. and just got off the clock.
When you leave home in the morning time and you see everything going on, you say, oh my God, there's so much work, But once you get into it and start doing it, and you see everything starting to come together, everybody's working together to get the job done, it looks good.
Perry, along with his crewmates, dumped more than 400 tons of salt and put down 1,000 gallons of brine solution in just 24 hours.
Came to work, we did our job, and I think a lot of the citizens are pretty happy.
Most neighborhood streets are hit and miss. Just like the bigger roads, some of the ice is melted, but in many spots it's still a nuisance.
I came out early this morning and my van was fishtailing, just coming out the driveway, just trying to get out of the driveway.
While many people decided not to get on the road, Jeff Mines had no choice. He needed to get himself a couple space heaters.
I get off work and it's cold, cold, cold. So I went out and checked, my heat pump was all froze up. So the only thing I could do is get some heat, keep myself, my wife, and my dogs warm.
Yeah, you got to stay warm. This is right here, just another example, just more ice on the roads. And this is the reason why most of the school systems are closed tomorrow, because buses obviously can't get into the neighborhoods to pick up the kids. Obviously on the main roads, Mercury, other major roads here on the peninsula at Jefferson, crews are still monitoring those roads. We have seen sand trucks, salt trucks. Also, they've been dumping that brine solution on some of the major roads throughout the night, and they'll continue to do that throughout the overnight hours. For now, that's the latest here on the peninsula. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
And count on 10 on your side. We will be up all night monitoring any overnight changes. We are coming on early again tomorrow, so you will have the latest information. We just chatted with the 4 producers who are working hard in our newsroom already. Our special coverage of what the winter storm left behind starts at 4 a.m., a half hour earlier than usual.
They start long before we do, 11 o'clock.